Hi, and welcome to Math 103. My name is Valerie McPhee, and I will be your instructor this semester. I hope this video will take you through the steps that you need to follow in order to get set up and be successful this summer. You can see that we are on the ICM student portal, and we're going to start here at Math 103. I don't think the portal is open for you yet, but it will be before classes start. So let me just get rid of my picture here so I'm not distracted by that. At the top of this page, you can see a list of useful links for you. The first one is your course outline. I will be going over that with you in this video. The next is a link to this video if you want to watch it again. I have two schedules here. One is for section 2. If you're registered on Tuesday and Thursday from 10 to 12, you are in section 2. If you are registered on Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 3, you are in section 3. There's a schedule here for each of you. I will go through these schedules in the video as well. I have a Zoom link here. Whenever I ask you to meet me in Zoom, you can use this link. All of the videos I make can be found here on this YouTube video link. So if you prefer watching videos in YouTube, you can use this. Here are two little videos that you might want to watch in your own time. One of them reminds you that you cannot have extensions for any of your quizzes. The other helps you get out of that I hate math cycle that so many of my students are in. This is a PowerPoint that gives you help if you're having difficulty registering for Pearson or downloading the locked browser. If you're having difficulty registering, if you can't download the locked browser, please use this PowerPoint. Read each slide carefully. Here's a course review. If you want to take a look at a big picture of this course, this might be helpful for you. There's also a link to your e-text here. You've paid for the e-text. It might be useful for you to use it. If you do decide to use your e-text, you can see here, I've posted solutions to all of the questions that I suggest you might want to practice. The rest of this page is organized by weeks, and every week is set up in the same way. At the beginning of each week, you will see your class notes. Week 1 class notes, week 2 class notes, week 3 class notes. I strongly suggest that you print your class notes and use them while you watch your video lessons. Each week, the video lessons that you are required to watch are posted here. You can see that in week 1, there are 3 video lessons. In week 2, there are 3 video lessons. In week 4, there are 4 video lessons. Now, 4 video lessons doesn't mean that I talked more. It just means that the videos are likely a bit shorter. That's all that means. After your class notes and your required video lessons, there are a number of optional links that you can use to help you be successful. First of all, there are solutions to the exam review questions that are found in your notes. There are some more review questions that you might want to work on. There is another worksheet on basic functions. I've also put in video links of other instructors. These are video links from people who I think do a good job teaching some of the same topics that I've covered, but maybe in a slightly different way. So if you want another viewpoint, another way of looking at things, please use these videos as well. So everything after the video lessons is optional. The class notes are required. It is also required that you watch these video lessons. So let's go now back to the course outline. I've sent this to you in the email, so you have your course outline already. This course is designed to prepare you for Math 1500. It covers the topics listed here. We have quite a large number of prerequisites, topics that we think you should know already. These are topics that are covered in Math 99. So if you don't know any of these topics, let me suggest that you might want to consider taking Math 99 if you haven't already. I want to take a minute now to go into Pearson MyLab, where you will be doing most of your work, to give you a chance to see how you can review these prerequisite topics. So here I am in Pearson MyLab. We'll talk about how you can register for this in a moment. If you look on the left, there is a menu. If you can't see it, you just need to click on that menu button. I'm going to go to assignments. And at the very bottom of all of these assignments, you can see we have supplementary quizzes that are not for marks and some supplementary homework. These quizzes are here to help you review topics that you should already know. So if you want to review exponents and radicals, you can do quiz A. If you want to review factoring, quiz B. Solving equations, lines, quadratic equations. We have these supplementary quizzes. They are just for your practice and review. So all of those prerequisites have a review in my math lab. We have a required e-text for this course. You've already paid for the e-text. That money has been withdrawn from your account. So I would suggest that you make use of it. We'll find the e-text both from that link I showed you on the class Moodle page and in Pearson MyLab. Also, like I showed you, there are practice worksheets, notes, and video lessons available on the class Moodle page. The class notes are required. If you come to me having difficulty, I may ask to see your notes. You should be printing these notes and using them as you watch the video lessons. Of course, you are required to have the basic supplies, pens, pencils, rulers, erasers, paper. This is an online course, and so a computer or a laptop with a good internet connection is required. If you don't have a working computer, a stable internet connection, you won't be allowed to write the test. These are necessary. And of course, calculators are not permitted. This course is designed to prepare you for Math 1500. Calculators are not permitted there. We want to start getting ready for that here in Math 103. Now, attendance is included in the participation mark, but we need 4 things if you're going to do well in this course. I need regular attendance on Tuesday Zoom classes. Attendance means that I can see you. Daily practice is essential. I would say 95, 99% of the time when people are having difficulty, they're not practicing every day. There's no way to be better at math without a lot of practice. You should be watching your video lessons, all of them, by Friday. And all of your assignments should be completed on time. If you do those 4 things, you will likely be successful in this course. Where do your marks come from? We have a final exam for 40%, a midterm, 3 midterm tests for 40%, quizzes every week that add up to 10%, and your participation is 10%. Now, these The exam, the tests, and the quizzes are all done in my math lab. How will you register? Well, here's your access code. That means you don't have to pay. You've already paid, so don't pay again. Use this access code. If your course is on Tuesday and Thursday from 10 to 12, this is your course ID. If your course is on Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m., this is your course ID. Please register in the correct section. If you were in this course last semester, you need to register in the correct section again. That course won't count any longer. We're starting a new course. Make sure you register again using the correct ID given here. So there's a lot of information about your final exam here. I'm not going to go through it now because you will forget all of it in 13 weeks. I just want to say a couple of things. The exam is after the last day of classes. It covers material from the whole semester. We will be doing your exam in Pearson MyLab. You are required to have a mark of 55% or greater on the final exam. You are required to have an overall mark of 55% or greater to pass the course. So 55 overall and 55 on your final exam. The rest of this information here is the same as the information we'll talk about on your test. So you'll be used to this process by the time we get to your final exam. Let's look at our tests. There are 3 one-hour tests for this course. I don't require any mark prerequisites. However, I do require that you have been consistently completing your quizzes and consistently watching your video lessons and consistently attending the lectures that are required. If you are not doing your quizzes, if you are not attending Tuesday lectures, if you are not watching your video lessons, you will not be permitted to write your test and you will receive 0. Now, we do require that you complete an exam protocol pretest the day before the test. 100% is required on this pretest. Don't worry about the 100%. That's the easy part. The hard part seems to be the day before. So we have something new this semester. If you've been in our courses before, we're saying now that if you don't complete the pretest the day before, we'll still let you write the test, but we're going to take 5% off your mark. Don't forget to complete your pretest the day before. And as always, there are no other test dates, not for any reason. So make sure everything is in line and working so that you are ready to write your test. You are responsible to have a working computer and a working internet connection. So your tests break down to 13%, 13%, and 14%. No calculators permitted. Complete the pretest the day before. Have a quiet space to work in. Don't be late. You will not be permitted to write your test if you are late. Have your ID ready. Be prepared to do the test by yourself. No help from other people. No help from any other aids, notes, or electronic devices. 2 devices are required. Zoom doesn't work with the locked browser. So I need you to use your phone for Zoom and your computer for your test and the locked browser. You have to have your video and your mic working. No talking is permitted, of course. You have to remain at your computer the entire time. There are no bathroom breaks. You are, of course, permitted to have blank sheets of paper. You can't do math without paper. And then make sure you're comfortable entering solutions. So many times I see that people don't put an answer in correctly. Part of the learning for this course is learning how to use My Math Lab. Let's go back there for a moment. You will see that we have quiz 1 twice and then homework. Quiz 2 twice and then homework. Oh, I haven't changed the dates on that homework. Let's see if I've changed it over here. Nope, I haven't. Okay, give me one moment. I'm going to fix that. Okay, there we go. Now you can see I can click on the homework. I would always suggest you do your homework first. You can see that it's always open. There are no limited number of attempts. The due date for your homework is always the end of August. You can work on this anytime during the semester. The nice thing about the homework is that it allows you to practice a question over and over and over again. Let's see if there's a question I can answer quickly here and to show you what I mean. These all take a bit of time. Okay, I can show you this one. This is from -3 to infinity. You can check your answer. Now, here's the nice thing. I can click OK and go to the next question. Or if I just close this, it gives me the opportunity, I hope, to do a similar question. Oh, I'm not finished this question yet. Choose the correct inequality. X is greater than or equal to -3. What did I not pay attention to? Oh, I put X is less than. X is greater than. Good. Okay, now I can go to the next question, or I can close this. When I close this, it gives me the opportunity to try a similar question. That's always a good idea when you make a mistake. So now I can do this again. Check my answer for the first part. Continue to the second part of the question. X is greater than or equal to -1. Let's see if I can get it right this time. And again, I can go to the next question, close this, and try a similar question. So using the homework allows you to practice putting your answers in correctly, which is what we're talking about here when we say make sure you're comfortable entering solutions in My Math Lab. The homework is good for that. Now, after every test, you may be asked to verify your marks. That means you're going to have to check your emails looking for that invitation. If you are asked to verify, you're going to be given an opportunity to tell me how you correctly solved several questions from your test. As usual, you should have your ID card. You should be in a quiet place alone. And this verifying counts for 50% of your test mark. That's usually not a problem. However, very rarely there are people who cannot answer any questions when they're talking with me. They got them right on their test. They can't show me anything. If that happens, you will receive a 0 on your test. That doesn't usually happen. What usually happens is you scored 70% on your test, and when you're talking with me and telling me how, you do about 70% of it correct. And that's good enough. That's all I'm looking for. Please remember to check your emails. I will send one reminder email, but if you don't respond after that, you will receive 0. Now, what happens if you're late or if you miss a test? There's not another chance. You will be given an average of your remaining test marks for test 1 or test 2, but you will only get the average if you've written 2 of the 3 tests, if you have an average quiz mark of 65%, and if you've been watching the video lessons and attending your lectures. Now, let me tell you, when I look back at the last 3 semesters, people who needed that average usually didn't have this, and so they didn't get an average. Be very careful about the work that you're doing. If you miss 2 tests, you will receive 0 on each of them. If you miss test 3, you will receive a 0. Don't be late. Don't miss your tests. So in order to not miss your tests, this is a good time to pause this video. Remember that you're completing the pre-test the day before. So you're going to pause the video, get out your calendar on your phone, and put these reminders in. June 2nd and June 3rd. June 23rd and 24th. July 21st and 22nd. Put those dates in now. Set reminders. Test 1 covers these quizzes. Test 2, these quizzes. Test 3, these quizzes. Now, in addition to those 3 tests, each week you will have 1 or 2 quizzes assigned. You should use these as a test of your understanding. Don't get help from anyone. Don't use your notes. Definitely don't use a calculator. Can you do it by yourself? If you can, then you know you understand the material. Now, I do suggest that you attempt the homework before attempting the quizzes. I wanted to show you one other thing in the homework there. So let's go back here. I'm in the homework for quiz 1. And what you're going to notice in the homework on the top right here is that there is question help. If you don't know how to solve a question, try using the help that's given here. Not all of the questions have great help embedded in them. Some are better than others. But if you do the homework first and find you're having difficulty with a question, you can always email me, see me on Thursday or during my office hours to get some help with these questions. So again, I would suggest doing the homework first and then attempting your quizzes. There are also those questions in your e-text from each chapter that might help you get prepared to do the quizzes. Each quiz can be attempted 2 times. The first attempt is due Saturday evening. The second attempt is due Monday evening. Only 1 attempt is required, but there are no extensions. So don't miss this. You have 2 opportunities, 2 due dates, but I'm not going to give you an extension, not for any reason. Please watch this YouTube video later. If you do the quizzes twice, I will keep your highest mark. If you do the quiz once, that's your mark. So if you do it the first time, you like your mark, you don't have to do it again. But I would always suggest that you do the first one. That way, if you want to do it again, you can. Quizzes cannot be worked on after the due date. And if you haven't completed them by the due date, it's a 0. Here's a schedule for this semester. You can see the quizzes that are due each week and the chapters in your e-text that go along with those quizzes. The yellow highlighted weeks are your tests. If you're wanting to look at questions in your e-text, I would suggest using these questions that are given here. Remember that for all of these questions, the full solutions can be found posted on the class Moodle page. The final 10% of your mark is participation. That comes in 3 places. Are your quizzes completed by the due date? Have you been watching your video lessons with your printed class notes? Have you been attending your Zoom classes? So 10% of your mark comes here. When I look at the students who don't do well in this course, they generally are not following the suggestions here. You should be practicing your math 1 to 2 hours every day. Completing the quizzes is not enough practice. You have several options for getting in that 1 to 2 hours. Watch the video lectures. Don't just sit and watch. Pause, practice, rewind, listen again. You have the homework option that I showed you in my math lab. The homework is not for marks, but it does allow you to practice. I showed you all the worksheets and video links on the class Moodle page. Make use of them. I showed you the list of e-text questions. These are a good resource for you, especially because the solutions are posted on the class Moodle page. I am expecting that you will attend Zoom on Tuesdays. Please be in a quiet space during that time so that you're not disrupting the meeting. If you have any questions or comments, the chat function is really useful in Zoom. Most importantly, you should come prepared with questions. If anything you were working on is difficult, this is a good time to get help with it. My email address was at the beginning of the course outline here. I respond to emails within 2 days. If I don't respond within 2 days, maybe you didn't give me your student ID, your name, the section you're in. Are you in section 2 or in section 3? Don't tell me Tuesday and Thursday. Everyone I teach is Tuesday and Thursday. Let me make sure we don't die here. There we go. Don't email the night before a test. That doesn't give me 2 days to answer. So if you have test questions, make sure you email early enough. Here's a breakdown of the letter grades. If you want an A, you're going to need at least 80%. This is important. Although 55% allows you to pass the course, if you need to take any of the university level math courses, you need a final letter grade of C or higher. That means you need at least 60% if you need to take any other math classes. Another quick note about exams. ICM doesn't reschedule exams. Don't make travel plans. If you do need a deferred exam, make sure you provide documentation within 2 days. It will only be given if you have attended 80% or more of your classes, and if you have attempted and passed all of your term assessments. Here are some withdrawal dates that might be important to you. Another reminder that a laptop or computer and working internet connection is required. Calculators are not permitted. Every semester, I have some students who switch to Math 99. Math 103 is a difficult course. It's fast moving. We do a lot of graphing. We cover a lot of material. And if you don't have those basics, the information that is in those supplementary quizzes I showed you earlier, this is going to be difficult for you. So you have until May 28th to switch into Math 1099. If you want to switch, you can email register@IC Manitoba, but you should also email me so that I can get you started in Math 99 as quickly as possible. Remember to have a positive attitude. If you're doing the work, if you're practicing every day, if you're asking questions when you need help, if you're watching all of your lectures, if you're attending Zoom classes, you should be able to pass this course. If any of you need special services, the university does have student accessibility services provided. Some people need help with notes, some people need extra time on their tests. This can all be provided through student accessibility services. And finally, we of course are expecting you to be honest, to do your own work, to not get help from other people, your notes, or any other devices. Every semester, I have to report somebody who was found cheating. That is my obligation. Your obligation is to not cheat. So please don't. It makes it a much better semester if we're all doing our own work. You can help each other with homework. You can help each other with textbook questions. Everything else you should do on your own. Now, before this video ends, I did also want to look at your schedule with you. So you'll see I have two schedules here. I have a schedule for section 2, if your course is from 10 to 12. I also have a schedule for section 3, if your course is from 1 to 3. Most of the information is the same, just the time is different. But I would like you to print this document, put it up by your desk or wherever you work so that you remember what's required of you every week. I've made it like a to-do list so that you can check off each item as you complete it. Remember that you can watch the videos from the class Moodle page or on the YouTube link. Your videos should be watched by Friday. Your first attempt for the quiz is due Saturday. The second attempt is due Monday. You only need to do one attempt. I would always suggest doing the first attempt. The second one should be optional. Check your emails from ICM. It's the only way I have to be in touch with you. Make sure you're attending Tuesday Zoom classes. Practice your math every day. So here's your to-do list for before class. Print your course outline. If you're watching this, you're watching the video, you can check it off. Put your test dates into your calendar, set reminders. As soon as this video is over, you should register in Pearson. Most of you already have an account because you did a pre-test, a placement test, I should say. Now you just need to register for this course. Be careful, this is for section 3, not for section 2. Complete the lockdown browser quiz. Oh, I wanted to say something about that. Let's see if this is still open. Yes, it is. Let's go back to assignments. You'll see that quiz 1, and it has a second attempt right below it. Here are your due dates down this column. So you can't tell me you forgot. All of the due dates are here. So quiz 1, the first attempt is due May 15th. The second attempt is due May 17th. Sometimes there's a prerequisite. That's this little green flag. It says you have to score at least 50% on the lockdown browser before you work on this assignment. So that means you have to complete this before you can complete the quizzes with this prerequisite. Some quizzes have a limited number of attempts. You can see that this quiz has an infinite number of attempts. Here you have 1 attempt. Here you have 1 attempt. The homework, there are no limited number of attempts. You can work on them anytime. Let me also go back to the course home. You will see that the work that's due Friday or Saturday, May 15th is listed here. So you can either look here or you can look under assignments. Make sure you've printed the notes. Please put them in a binder. You don't want to have 100 loose pages at the end of this semester. You could also put the due dates for your quizzes into your phone and set a reminder. I'll be asking and checking online to see if you've done all this when I meet with you on Tuesday. We should talk about how to watch a video lesson. A video lesson is not a movie. You should not be lying in bed. You should be sitting up at a desk or a table. You should be rested, fed, and watered. You should have your supplies and be in a quiet space. Don't just listen. Pause, work, rewind if needed, and then make note of the difficult questions. You can ask me about them on Tuesday. Go through all of this before we have a test. Here's the first week of classes. It tells you which quizzes are due. Make sure you print the notes. Make sure you listen to the videos. Make sure you complete your first attempt of the quiz. Make sure you try the second if you want to. Tuesday Zoom class is required. Thursday, I leave open by appointment. So if you want to meet with me on Thursday, send an email. Every week, the schedule's set up here. It tells you which quizzes are due, and it even reminds you to do your pre-test before your test. All right, that's a lot of information, but you can read through it again yourself or listen to this video again. I look forward to meeting you all on Tuesday.